Rallying is largely a family affair. Once one member gets involved, it becomes contagious, and the rest of the family gets the bug in some way, shape or form. The perfect example of that is the Taylor family. Coral Taylor is a superb illustration of a modern co-driver in the ARC, combining her in-car role with a second job as Toyota's team manager. Her partnership with Neil Bates is the most successful of any currently in the ARC series. After 14 years together and with several Australian titles to their name, her devotion to speed is just as strong now as it was when the two started.
And I now consider myself lucky to sit beside, the best driver in the country. And that's a very biased opinion, but, that is absolutely my opinion. And any driver, co-driver relationship, for that to work really well, you have to base that relationship upon total trust and total commitment. When we're competing and driving and winning stages and events, sometimes by only fractions of a second, you have to have that complete and utter commitment to every call that happens in the car. And to be able to do that, you have to totally trust, the co-driver has to trust the driver and the driver has to trust the co-driver. And when you can commit on a set of notes at the level that we do, and you get to the end of the stage and you know that that's the fastest you could have possibly driven through that stage, it's an unbelievable feeling that is very hard to put into words. I think it's it's really important to find a team, driver and co-driver together, that can become really good friends, because you spend so much time together that if you didn't really like the person that you were competing with, then it's never going to work. Can you get out of my way?
Yeah. Coral's husband understands her enthusiasm for rallying, having been a successful competitor and now owning and running a rally driving school.
Rallying is such an addictive sport, and once it grabs hold of you, it is such a powerful passion, and you can never describe to anybody what it's like to drive a rally car, and once you've been involved in the sport, it's a very powerful addiction. But you've got a rally the next day.
Yes. Let's go.
Yeah.
That infectious hunger for pushing a car to its limit has now been passed on to their daughter Molly, who's now spending her first year competing in the ARC. She's chosen to drive like her father and doesn't want to be known as a token female.
Once you get in the car and put the helmet on, it doesn't really matter what gender you are, and I always prefer to let the results do the talking rather than sort of harping on and using that angle rather than your actual what you're there to do, drive a rally car.
In her first event this year in Queensland, she surprised all, including herself, at finishing 8th outright. Molly's rapid progress has been due to a job at her father's business as an instructor. She also gives credit to her experiences competing as a child in cross-country horse riding. But that was something she was forced to sacrifice in order to become serious about rallying.
I mean, it was a hard decision to let that go and pick up the rallying, but a lot of the things are similar. Similar principles apply with the driving technique, looking up, planning ahead, all that kind of thing is exactly the same to riding. So they sort of complemented each other quite nicely, and yeah, it was hard to let go. But I look at what's happening now and what I'm doing, and definitely know I made the right decision.
That's your granddad.
Mum Coral still sees her current career lasting for many more years to come, but would one day like to manage her daughter, helping steer her towards the pinnacle of the sport.
From motorcarnas to carnacrosses to state rallies, and now to the ARC, every time she goes out, she improves greatly. I think she's still, you know, very much at the beginning of all that incredible learning curve, but if she still has the focus and the determination that she has, and she continues to learn as fast as she does and apply herself the way that she does, I certainly do think she has a future.
I would love to be overseas, competing in, you know, the WRC or something. That just, I think for any serious rally driver, that's the ultimate goal. That's what we're all working to achieve. So, yeah, that's definitely where I'd love to be.